Hello guys, hello everyone. Hello. Um alright, trade recap. So price action today was actually kind of good, surprisingly. Like we haven't had very clean PA for quite a long time, and I did find a pretty good setup for the strategy that I trade. So let's just quickly talk about that. So what did we see? So firstly, right, before we even start, we had news at 145. So what does that mean? We don't trade before 145, right? So that was PMI, and obviously PMI impacts the market a lot considering it's a red folder. So if anyone took trades before PMI at 145, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I have no idea what the fuck you're doing. But right, so obviously we weren't gonna even consider taking any trades before that. So we weren't even too interested in what happened in the market prior to news coming out. But what we did have right was quite a lot of sweeps of liquidity here. So if we check ES as well, we also had quite a lot of sweeps in liquidity. We had the 4 hour sweep here. We had a touch of 4 hour high here being swept. Now this was extremely enticing, right? Like we swept highs. Um, what's likely after a sweep of a high, probably like some drawdown. I mean, sorry, not drawdown, some movements to the downside, and that's essentially what we got. Like literally exactly what we got. So obviously after an hourly sweep, you need to wait for the 5 minute retrace, right? Just for that confirmation, just so that that it's just not a random random reaction off hourly highs, right? So in this scenario, right, we had the sweep here, and then we eventually got the retracement at this candle here at 9:55. So we waited for news to come out. We got the macro, or we were in the macro, right? And we got that 5 minute retrace. Now that's beautiful for us to scale down into the lower time frames, right? Which is essentially what we did. So again, pretty stock standard trade. So after a 5 minute retrace, that then you go to your 1 minute confluences, and that essentially was our 1 minute breaker structure here, followed by a inverse fair value gap. Now, yes, you could enter based on this, right? But that's not how we like to trade, right? We want to wait for that retracement tool just to get the most optimum entry, right? So essentially what happened was we created these two 1 minute fair value gaps here. So we got the higher time frame one. I mean, sorry, not the higher time frame one. The one that was higher up here and the one that was lower down here, right? So obviously, I would have loved for price to come into here and respected this, but it didn't, right? But what we did have was PA respecting this 1 minute fair value gap here, whilst also hitting equilibrium. Now that's the setup, right? So all we need is for price to respect this level, and then we're in shorts, right? And that's essentially what we did. So after we tapped into the equilibrium of this swing high to the swing low, added with the 1 minute fair value gap being respected, we entered based on this candle here and put our stops around, I mean, at the top of this range here, where our trade is invalidated. Now I could have had a tighter stop loss, because having a 0.20% stop loss is pretty loose. It is very loose in my opinion. I could have easily had it down here for a better, I guess, risk to reward, but I felt comfortable with leaving my stop losses up here. Now, my first TP was at these 15 minute, oh, at the at the bottom of these like 15 minute lows. Like look at all of this low resistance liquidity, right? Like this was bound to get hit if we were to push to the downside, which it did, right? So this was my first TP, the 15 minute sweeps here. And then my second TP, which did not get touched, was this hourly low here. Now we literally got edged from, like, yeah, we were 0.01% away from hitting TP2, which is unfortunate. Would obviously love to have hit this, but obviously we didn't, and you can't really change. You can't really do anything about it, because we were basically right there, and we just wicked the whole thing. I don't know what happened. There was no news, no nothing. So I don't actually know what caused this large, I guess like larger wick to be formed. And my final TP was at these hourly lows or hourly equal lows here, where I was fairly confident that, once we had swept this, we would easily have swept this. But, can't really predict the market. And yeah, so we did get stopped out. Our first TP was at a 1.08 risk to reward. And in total for this trade, I didn't make too much because obviously um, we didn't hit our other TPs, but let me pull it up for you. So if you see here, I don't know if you can see it. I made $148, which is not bad. It means that we finished the week positive, right? We went 2 for 2 this week, which was a big improvement from last week where um we went 1 for 3. We went, sorry, for the week before where we went 0 and 3, something like that. But yeah, it is an improvement, and we are getting more patient with our entries. And if there's nothing, we don't really take trades. But yeah, overall, pretty happy with this trade. I would consider this an A plus setup because it literally is our strategy. You got a sweep, then a 5 minute retrace, and then you scale down to the 1 minute, wait for the break, and then you get the retracements. Um, I guess for overall improvements, maybe like looking at ES as well. Like ES definitely had some good opportunities here, but I kind of deemed that NQ was a lot better because we did get a better retrace into the 1 minute fair value gap, unlike NQ. And yeah, I think that wraps up the video for today. Obviously very happy with this trade and very happy that we finished this week positive. Sorry, not positive, but finished this week with a 2-2 record. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.